Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Joe. Welcome to my gospel reflection for this Sunday, November the 6th. Well, we changed the clocks back here in the Northeast, and as is always the case, there's some clocks that give you trouble. My car clock gave me some problems this morning. Eventually, I figured it out. Then you wonder which ones are going to change on your computer, on your remote control box on your TV, and then you're wondering about how it's going to affect you. Isn't it amazing how something like that can cause such unrest? Well, it's kind of the story of life, isn't it? And with that in mind, let's just quiet our minds and hearts and listen to today's gospel, which is from St. Luke, chapter 20, verses 27 to 38. Jesus said to the Sadducees, "The children of this age marry and remarry, but those who are deemed worthy to attain to the coming age and to the resurrection of the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. They can no longer die, for they are like angels, and they are children of God, because they are the ones who will rise. That the dead will rise, even Moses made known in the passage about the bush, when he called out, 'Lord, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.' And he is not God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive." Sometimes when we hear the gospel message like this, we say, "Oh, what a dark message it is." And Jesus does, and especially this time of year, the gospels in the Christian calendar are lined up around the end times. His death will come at Christ the King in a few weeks, and then we'll start Advent in a new season. But these Gospels are not really that dark when we look closely at some of the powerful points. And the most powerful point was what Jesus said at the end. "I am God of the living." The living. We must live. We must live this life. What I said earlier about the clocks, what happens in our day-to-day life, in all honesty, some of the things that happened to me just in the past couple days, they give us a reason not to live, not to have joy and happiness in our life. And what a mistake it is when we do that, when we don't put aside those things and say, "No, this is about the life given to me by God, and I am going to live it." One of my favorite visions, it's out of the book The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, is a yogi who's sitting meditating, and he has a vision of over his head is a sword that will come down on his head, is held together and held from not falling on his head by a thin spider web. And the yogi's meditation is that this is how he lives his life, that at any moment that sword may fall from that thin spider web, and he must live his life to the fullest with that in mind as a real possibility. How about you and I? How can we live this life to the fullest? Now, I'm not saying become drunkards and go out and party and do things that are not legal. I'm not suggesting that at all. But there's so many joyous things that each of us can find in our life to do every day, and thereby have in our mind that Jesus did give us this life to live, that we will live it to the fullest, that we will enjoy it. And yes, we will strengthen that spider web that's holding that sword above our head. Well, my friends, that's my message for you today. Hopefully it was helpful. Please give me your thoughts and comments. I always welcome them here on this page. Always welcome them from you, and I appreciate you very much for joining me. I'm going to be working on my website this week to further send out these gospel messages on YouTube and on my website and other places so that we could build a bigger audience. If you have any thoughts for me on that, I welcome them as well. Please continue to follow me at joedwyerjr.com. Above all else, have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone.